As an African American living in South Africa, I can say definitively that the malls in Cape Town, South Africa are better than the ones in the States. Let me show you why.
But to go to Africa and everything that we only saw images of wasn't there. And it was, that make you cry. Like, as ignorant as this is, when we first was going to Africa, they was like, "Great, you ready to go to Africa?" And I was like, "No." They was like, "Why? You going to motherland?" I said, "I don't want no flies in my eyes."
I'd rather be broke in Africa than broke in America. Some of y'all wonder, like, what am I do if I ever move over to Africa? How I'm gonna get a job? Where I'm gonna get my income from? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that shit. Just come to Africa. Come here broke. Let your ass go broke in America. They gonna send an eviction notice on your door in 24 motherfucking hours.
They lied to us. This is Africa. They lied. I'm in Ghana or South Africa and I get stopped by the police. Guess what I get? I get a warning, I get a ticket, or I give them $100 and I drive home. I've never, since I've been over there, saw on the news or nothing that somebody got pulled over by the police and got shot.
What did you say? It doesn't look real?
It looks like we're in Angola.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely beautiful. Oh, this is unreal. Pretty girl. Hey,
And so where are you guys at? Are you in the Caribbean?
No, it seems like we are. Sunny South Africa.
I've heard that somewhere.
No, that's because we got a proper tour. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Emphasis on the proper.
Excellent, excellent.
Haven't been treated this good in our life ever.
Whoa! I got that on tape. So this is where we are, guys. This is incredible.
As an African American living in South Africa, I can say definitively that the malls in Cape Town, South Africa are better than the ones in the States. Let me show you why. Their malls are built for convenience. They have security everywhere on the outside and the inside of the malls. And on the inside, they have banks. What mall you been to in the States that had a bank in it? It might be one, but it won't be many. First of all, it's clean. Way cleaner than any mall I've ever seen in the United States, to include the famous malls that I live near in Las Vegas. Look at the sidewalks. Look how new everything is and how clean the entrance is. You don't see trash nowhere. You don't see no cigarette butts. You don't see no gum stuck to the floor. And everything is just brand new and smelling good and looking good. I love it. Hold on. It gets better. Is that a car in the mall? Yes, they have a car dealership inside the mall. Crazy, right? Not really. Not really. It's very much so convenient, because if you were buying a car, you know how long it takes to buy a car in the States. If you buying a car and you stay there for 4 hours and your kids can go get food and you can walk around, you could go to the pharmacy inside the mall to pick up your medication. And groceries. The grocery stores are mostly inside malls here around this area. That's amazing. And of course, they have everything else like regular malls. So they're going to have the clothing stores, the shoe stores, the electronic stores, all of the coffee shops, you know, the kiosk with the little phone cases and everything. And this place here is special because everything is 12 Rand here.
They are the kindest, most sincere people I've ever been around, ever. Forget everything you've ever heard. After you go to Africa, you got to go to Ghana first, then you need to go to Botswana, because you need to see Botswana is the second richest diamond producer nation in the world. Them black people over there got something. And then you got to go to Johannesburg. That's what you got. You got to do that jump right there. Once you see that, you'll understand who we are. Them Africans ain't stole nothing from us. They talk about Burna Boy stole this. No, we stole from Burna Boy. Them Africans is us, man. They the beat. They the rhythm. They the soul. They the hard work. We get our courage from them. When you see them people, they look just like your family. They walk like us. They look like us. They got moves like us. It's just, you gotta see it. And we gotta, my goal is to help bridge this gap because we got to touch base with them because they love y'all, man. You don't even know. They think y'all to catch me out. They think y'all to lick. You know why? Because they know what you went through. They know where them slave ship picked you up at. They know they brought you to a land. They know what they did to you. And y'all still over here shining. If we take this shine back over there and give them the love and teach them that dust, we'd have a powerful union.
But to go to Africa and everything that we only saw images of wasn't there. And it was, that make you cry. Like, as ignorant as this is, when we first was going to Africa, they was like, Griff, you ready to go to Africa? And I was like, no. They was like, why? You going to motherland? I said, I don't want no flies in my eyes. Because in America, they still, TT, they still show these commercials with these white people walking through these villages, right? And it's probably a set like this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they did outside. But the white people was walking through the village and they stepping over kids and they're looking in the camera and they're like, I know. For 30 cents a day.
You could save one of these kids.
And then they put the camera on the kid and the camera got 6 flies on the eyeball. Like,
which one is this one?
Rugby, like on the eyeball. And I feel like the cameraman can say, fly, we trying to.
But he chose to keep the shot.
Yeah, so when you hear, so the only image is, and then you feel so ignorant. You feel so, you so mad immediately at America. Like immediately, like you wouldn't, I mean, Cape Town, guys, come on.
Come on.
First of all, Cape Town.
I'd rather be broke in Africa than I would ever be broke in America. Okay, hear me out. First of all, when you broke in America, you broke. You motherfucking next level broke, okay? You broke until payday, broke until I don't know when I'm gonna be able to have money to pay my next bill. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do about these kids' school club. I don't know how I'm gonna pay this water bill, all the lights gonna get shut off. That kind of broke. But when you broke in Africa, it's a motherfucking peaceful broke. You don't got nothing to worry about. You ain't worried about nothing. Electric's only $20. In some places, you ain't pay rent once a year. If you're here in Kenya, you pay rent monthly, but it ain't even up to that much as it is in the USA. So when you broke over in Africa, it's a peaceful kind of broke. In Africa, as soon as you go outside, you didn't forgot you was even broke. Like, you could be broke and still look good. Nails be only $10. Hair be only $10. Motherfuckers won't even know you broke in Africa. But America, they know when you broke. You down bad and begging broke. Ooh, honey, I don't see how y'all do it in America, honey. I can't do it. I can't do it, honey. I'd rather be broke in Africa than broke in America. Some of y'all wonder, like, what am I do if I ever move over to Africa? How I'm gonna get a job? Where I'm gonna get my income from? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that shit. Just come to Africa. Come to Africa broke. Figure it out later on, okay? Figure it out when you get over here. Just come to Africa. Come here broke. Let your ass go broke in America. They gonna send an eviction notice on your door in 24 motherfucking hours, okay? How the fuck you gonna pay that $2,000, $3,000 rent? If you gonna be broke and you gonna be poor, at least be poor and broke in Africa. At least come to Africa. Since I've been here, I'm like, how are some people out here not wealthy and they're still happy? I see why now. It is actually a pleasure to be broke in Africa. Like, it's still peaceful. It's still motherfucking peaceful in Africa. Even when you're broke in Africa, it's a peaceful type of broke. You are still motivated. Trust me. In America, oh my God, you feel like you have to go to mental hospital after about a month of being broke. After about 2 weeks of being broke in America. Out here, you can be broke for years and still be happy. Trust me.
I'm not being funny, but us lot in Europe have been lied to. Apparently there's nothing in Africa. Children are starving, flies in their eyes, pot bellies, no buildings, no infrastructure. Well, how do you explain all of this then? Huh? Huh? How do you explain all of this? They lied to us. This is Africa. They lie. Keep scrolling.
South African words that shock Americans.
Americans call this a trunk. South Africans call it a boot. Americans would say, I'll pick you up. South Africans say, I'll fetch you. Americans call this a hood. South Africans call it a bonnet. Americans call this a traffic light. South Africans call it a robot. Americans call this aluminum. South Africans call it aluminium. Sounds so complex. Americans would say, I'm going to the liquor store. South Africans would say, I'm going to the bottle store. Americans would say a pickup truck. South Africans would say a bakkie. Americans would say, hi, how are you? South Africans would say, how's it? Americans would call this a barbecue. South Africans would call it a braai. Americans say, I'll be there soon. South Africans say, I'll be there now.